Here I go again on another little hiking trip. It's pretty short, but we're getting back on the Pinhoti tomorrow. I am here in Heflin, Alabama. I'm parked behind the city hall. They've allowed us to park our vehicles here overnight, for the next several days. They also said it's okay if we sleep in our vehicle tonight. We'll get picked up tomorrow and shuttled to Adams Gap, where we'll start back up. I got the dirty bourbon just about ready to sleep in. It's covered, blacked in all the windows in the back, starting with the second seat. Can't even see in there. I'm hoping you can't see any light through at night when I turn the light on. Can't even tell that I've got it blacked out. The only other thing I have left to do, honestly, is just put the window shade in the front windshield, just to help. It'll also help when I leave it parked here to keep some of the heat out, I guess. I've got a black curtain hanging between the front. We're just behind the front seat. It's white on this side. It's a blackout curtain. That is, I'm hoping, going to give a whole lot of privacy for me. I'm waiting on our Stacy to get here. We're going to go down to the Tasty Dip and have some supper. Heflin looks like a cute little town. We're at Adams Gap, where we left off last time. Fixing to pick back up. Heading off. It's 8:19. That's cute. Okay, we're off. It's a little overcast because it's been raining off and on through the night. Came down a pretty good flood about 5:30 this morning, but it has since quit. So I'm really hoping that majority of today will be without rain, but it's pretty much in the forecast for the next 4 days. Anywhere between 50 and 80, 90%. So it's safe to say we'll be getting wet this trip. Look at the little chanterelles. If only I had my butter. We're nearly a mile and a half in, and we have seen a ton of mushrooms this entire way, all kinds. I don't see any more right here. With these chanterelles, I was surprised. These mushrooms, I think they're ringless honeys, but I'm not sure on that. They are everywhere. And I've heard ringless honeys are edible, although I've not tried them. But again, I can't say that I'm positive that that's what this is. Not without harvesting some and doing some more research. But it's cool. They're so pretty. Well, there we are. Good morning, sunshine. A little late, but it's good to see you. Here are those little food mushrooms. Look at these little teeny tiny things there. Oh, what is that? I think that's a snail. I don't know what all that foamy stuff is. That's interesting. We're about 3 miles in. Well, we are exactly 3 miles in, actually, when I looked. And it had started raining. So we got our umbrellas out. It was raining a good bit harder a while ago. Right now I don't think I'm getting a whole lot of moisture down through the trees. I can hear it slightly hitting the umbrella, but it's not bad. I'm sure not taking it down now. When we first put them up, it was coming down pretty good. It's okay, it's not cold, so I'm not worried about hypothermic situations, even if I get totally soaked. That's just the way it is. If you're going to be outside, you got to be prepared for the elements. It is hot though. Worked up a pretty good sweat, so I mean, even if I'm not wet from rain, I'm wet from sweat. I'm trying to use a new hookup for my umbrella. I've never used it before. It's one made by, I think it was Gossamer Gear. I've just hadn't quite got it adjusted to where I like it. It's the handle of the umbrella keeps whacking me in the head as I walk. It's pretty annoying. I'll eventually get it sorted out though. We're about 4 miles in now, and we have started the Stairway to Heaven, which is a pretty, fairly steep climb. Steepest part of this whole trip this time. The rain has pretty much stopped. We're still getting drips off the trees, but I'm out of breath. We've been climbing up this Stairway to Heaven, and right here at the top it's going to get really steep. We've got to get up there to that. There's supposed to be a view though, so that'll be rewarding. It's a pretty good climb though. Well, you can't see it from here, but we came up from way down there. This huge rock. And we got up here to this view, which is pretty slim.
There's a camp.
Oh. Oh yeah, we could camp down here. Somebody's got a fire ring built. That's the view. Man, if these trees they didn't have their leaves. I guess in the wintertime this would be a really pretty, awesome view. This is a tent site it's 5 miles in from Adams Gap. You can get a bunch of tents in here, it looks like, and also great trees for hanging a hammock. And the bonus with this tent site is there's a view over here. Not sure which direction this is, but I bet you could either catch a sunrise or a sunset over here. So this would be a pretty good tent spot. I am bringing a different tent this time. It's a little it's a trekking pole tent. And I laugh at myself because I always said I'll never have a trekking pole tent. I do not like those tents. But I picked this one up. It's just a cheap brand. It's made by 3F ultralight gear. It's less than 2 pounds. It is a one person. It's kind of small. But I honestly picked it up to use for kayaking on a kayaking overnight trip, which I have not done yet. But I brought it along just to try it out because I thought, well, it's only 3 nights on trail. to try it out, and if it's going to be raining, that'll give me a good sense of how it holds up. It may be a total failure, but I'll find out. But I'll survive either way. Alright, we're about 6 miles in. We stopped about half mile back to get lunch, and we did. Thankfully, it didn't start raining until after we got done. But as you can see, it's raining pretty good. And I had just said a prayer, dear Lord, please keep us dry. And he said, that's not happening today. I have other plans for you. So I said, okay, that's fine. We've been wet before. We will be wet again. Not much we can do about it. Just glad it's not cold. I do pray that it stops before we have to put our tents up. Make it a little bit easier on us. And honestly, I looked at the radar. This was kind of a long blob. It's kind of skinny. So I don't anticipate it still being raining once we get to camp. But goodness, it's coming down now. Try not to step on these rocks because they're slippery. Whew. I think I have a hole in my umbrella. I got water dripping on my shoulder over here. It wouldn't surprise me. This thing has been through a lot. And it was an $18 cheap Amazon umbrella. And I mean, it has gone through a lot. It has been abused. It's starting to rust. Now, I've seen some little pinholes. But what's dripping on me right now does not seem like a pinhole anymore. Oh well. I'll probably start looking into other options when I get back. But I think this one's just about lived all of its living. All it's gonna do. Well, we discovered the Dolly Parton tree. Not sure about that thing on the backside, but anyway, it's interesting. I really don't know how far we in, or that we are in. We just got into some crappy, brambly, thick, unkept part of trail. Apparently no maintenance there. It's after mile 6, I think, from Adams Gap, going north. That was terrible. Plus there were blowdowns in the brambly stuff, which made us have to go around in more brambly, unkept stuff. And even though I had my umbrella up to shield me from the rain and had stayed fairly dry, I'm thoroughly soaked now because of all the water on the all the stuff that we were going through. Baby pine trees and brambles and all those leaves got me soaked now, so it doesn't even matter that I have an umbrella. We are between 7.5 and 8 miles in. There's something big and orange on that tree, and I know exactly what it is. And it's blowing my mind because I hadn't been able to find any at home. But every time I come hiking, I find these big old boatloads of chicken of the woods, and I can't even do anything about it. I mean, oh my gosh. Prime.
Oh, that's beautiful.
There's some good eating. I think this is the remnants of a plane.
Wow. It's pretty crumpled up.
That's interesting. wait. We're about 4/10 away from our campsite, and we are very ready for it. That'll be 10.5 miles for the day. And it's been some tough miles, especially through that brambly stuff. That was horrible. And then we just got into a bunch of boulders and rocks, and it's been kind of a slow going part of this. Finally gotten into a little bit better area where the terrain is just a little bit better. Still got some rocks, but it's, you know, you're on a mountain, so what do you expect? Oh wee. I guess I'll show you when we get there. Hopefully I'll remember to, and show you the tent when I get it set up. But I'm gonna have to get it set up, make some quick pictures, I guess, and then I need to get inside and get out of these wet clothes because the wind's blowing and it's turned it's a little bit chilly, so I don't need to get too cold. All right, I'll see you there. Well, we got to camp after 10.5 miles. We put up our tents in some very awkward positions because there's nothing flat here. And now we've gotten changed clothes, trying to warm up, dry up, and we're going to recuperate from the day. It was a tough day, but it's all good. I'm in my tent, although I can't exactly set it up just right because there's so many rocks in the ground that I can't get my stakes where I exactly need them. And every time I move on this pad, I slide that way because it's sloped. So all I have to do is sit up and I go shoop, about 5 inches. I just have to keep sliding forward. I've got my food bag down there right now, just keeping from going, and then I'll put something else instead of my food. I might put my shoes down there. I do believe it's too small to put a backpack in unless I put it under my feet, but on this slopey thing that won't do any good because all it'll do is push that mesh into the sidewall. So right now I have it hanging from a carabiner from my trekking pole strap. But that actually works pretty good. It's got it off the ground. I got to pick all that stuff up. That was just thrown out when I first got set up. So yeah, this technically that corner's not done right, but like I said, I'm trying to work around rocks in the ground. It works though. It should keep me dry and warm. Tonight I'm having turkey casserole, or turkey dressing casserole, or something like that. Maybe it's just turkey dressing. We'll have that. I have some meat sticks to go with that. I've got some key lime pie, kind of beat up key lime pie. This will taste good.